What's going on, people? It's a Thursday. I'm gonna do a little few hours, get my money up for the week so I can have an easier time on the weekend. Not that I'm working any less on the weekend. It's 5:45 on a Thursday. I rejected about 20 odd jobs. My first job now. All of the money is just whack, garbage. Like, we're talking £5.22 for 20 minutes. We're talking £15 for 40 minutes. Like, I just can't understand the money. I can tell there's a lot of traffic. But Uber's not trying to pay us for the time. They're just trying to pay us what they think the mileage is worth of something. I don't know how it works out the equation, but it's not. It doesn't work it out with the method I tried to work out, how to accept a job. I just accepted one. It was like 23 minutes for like £10.37. I didn't want to accept it, to be honest. I was waiting for £11.50 for that. That's how much I should be paid for that, £11.50. But after cancelling 20 jobs, rejecting 20 jobs, I'm thinking, am I going to get any good jobs today? So I thought, let me just take a job to get out of the area that I'm in now. I think the pickup's at 8 minutes away. By the time the job actually, I accepted the job and it matched with me, it said 5 minutes to pick up. It's been 2 minutes so far, 3 minutes left, 0.9 miles to the customer. I'm hoping, I can't remember how long it was to the destination, but I'm hoping it's, about 15 minutes or something. That way I'm getting the right money for the job. I think I should be. I think I will be. I think some of the traffic that Uber thinks is there is dying down. Uber's pretty rubbish. They don't really know road layouts. They don't know anything. They just judge the way they judge things. I don't know how they do it. You know what I mean? It's so weird. But sometimes when they do say there's traffic on the road, there is. But sometimes it says there's traffic, but it's not. Sometimes it doesn't say there's traffic, but there is. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how they do it. Right, there's this particular road in Bedminster that it's like a bus-only type road, so taxis can go on it, and it doesn't exist on the Uber map where it did a few months ago. It's completely disappeared off of it. So I don't understand how they work out the mapping system, but whatever, innit? It says I'm 1 minute from the customer now. Even though I've only been, I don't know, it feels like it's only been 1 minute since I said that. But yeah, anyways, I'll update you on how my Thursday is going. This is why I don't like working during the week, but when you got targets to hit because you want to go away and you're not going to get paid for almost 3 weeks when you're away, you got to do what you got to do, man. But my biggest pet peeve, well, apart from your customers being late, but the pet peeve, this pet peeve anyway, is being underpaid and sitting in traffic. Do you know what I mean? Like making it longer. Like you're accepting £10.37 for a 23-minute job. It's already going to be long, and it ends up being 5 minutes longer or something. I ain't gonna go berserk, but in my head I'm gonna be angry, and it's hard to like cheer up out of that because you're pissed off at something that you can't change. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes we get like that. And it takes me a little bit to work through it, like 5-10 minutes on people. What's going on? So yeah, that £10.37 job ended up being like, when I picked the person up, said 16 minutes, but I turned around the exact same spot I was in, turned into 15 minutes, went down the road, a queue of weird merging traffic merged too soon, went around them, turned that into 13 minutes. Literally got them to the hospital in 12 minutes. So yeah, I ended up being like 17-minute job for £10.37. I kind of knew that it would be something I could do sooner. Well, I didn't know for a fact, but it seemed very possible because of where I was and where they were going. Because if you're doing any M32 work in Bristol, obviously into town, there's a lot of half of it is bus lane. When you're in the city anyway, half of it is bus lane, and they don't take that into account, which is a bit, it's on Uber. It's on Uber, but it's fine. It adds extra time onto your thing, and sometimes earns you extra money. Not so much on this one. Also, had a job straight after. I rejected a couple jobs. The first one was at £8, 18 minutes. You know, rejected that. Next one was like £9, 20 minutes, 21 minutes, something like that. Rejected that. And then the next one came in, it was £18 for 37 minutes. And I was like, I could do that. I guess it's like 36 minutes, buy 36 minutes, get one free sort of deal for me. I was like, alright, cool. I just literally just dropped them off, but it was all the way out in Yate, or somewhere a little bit further in Yate. It's far out, I'm not gonna lie. When I got to Yate, I was still driving a little bit more. It's proper in the sticks, I think. Well, not too bad in the sticks, but it's in the sticks. That's why I'm driving through like roads like this right now. You know what I mean? Just greenery everywhere, like barely any houses and whatnot, which is quieter, definitely. While I was on that job, I got a reserve job come through. It was, I think it was like 30 minutes, 31 minutes, maybe 23 quid for an Uber XL reserve job. If it wasn't reserved, it probably wouldn't have been enough money to get me there, because it's 16 minutes away and Uber doesn't like to pay the XL drivers to get to the trip. It never has that sort of money added on, you know. At that point, you'll get better money for an Uber X trip when it's that far away. But because of the reserve, I guess it's like £7 added because of the reserve. And yeah, it worked out. Definitely worked out. So I'm on my way there now. I am 9 minutes left to get there, 4 miles left. It's the job, their pickup time was 6:20. It's now 6:39. Crazy. They must be pissed. I don't want to get there and they're like, oh my god, you took so long, because they don't know how Uber Reserve works. Uber Reserve, you reserve a trip with Uber, and you know, if you reserve a trip with Uber, you're expecting to have your driver there on time, because that's the whole point of Uber Reserve. But Uber can't guarantee a driver. The opportunity of a job then goes to multiple drivers. You know, they'll send it out to you if you're suitable, and they'll put it on the opportunities page, and whoever accepts it, accepts it. But it's hard to accept an opportunity a job from somewhere where you're not. You know, if you're around the corner, fair enough. If you live around there, fair enough. But if it's in the middle of your shift and you live around there, then it's not going to work, is it? Because you might be on the other side of Bristol. Or if you're, you know what I mean, like this is from BS35, Thornbury. Because I'm in Yate, Thornbury is like 5-6 miles away, so it sort of works out. And the money was enough to make it work out. But the people are just waiting on a driver, and you know, look, I'm going to be a driver who's like 25 plus minutes late, because Uber couldn't find someone to match that trip in time. And with all the traffic out there as well, I'm pretty sure drivers, depending on what direction you're coming from, especially if you're coming from Thornbury from let's say the Gloucester Road way, you're not gonna want to do it, to be honest, because you're gonna have so much traffic that way. It's 6:44 now, so the traffic exit in that sort of area should be better too. So fortunately for me, it might work out, but I never know, because I ain't been to the area yet. But Uber Reserve could work in your favor. I've done a few videos on Uber Reserve already where I've accepted, days when I was going through could do a day in the life of an Uber driver video, where I'm, you know, showing you my Uber Reserve trips, where I'm telling you about them. You know, maybe I should start screenshotting them, put them on the screen, but sometimes you don't have the reaction time to screenshot and accept the job, because when the job comes through, you got 15 seconds to respond. I'm there doing maths in my head. I can't do the maths, accept, and screenshot, because when you screenshot, the little thing appears at the bottom and it covers the accept bit for a second. So I've had scares where I almost missed the job because I'm trying to screenshot for you guys. But yeah, it's getting quieter now on the roads, I can see. So this evening should be plain sailing. See how much hours I could do this evening. I feel tired but energized at the same time. Feel like I could go all night, but Yeah, I don't want to. And I accepted an Uber reserve job for tomorrow as well. I think it was from BS35 as well, but it was like 40 quid. And it was at 12 o'clock. I was just going to drive down to this area a little bit earlier and just be here. So as soon as the reserve trip starts, I'm here in the area. And then it's a 30-minute trip as well. So, 30 minutes and a quick £40. It kind of works out. 10 minutes of waiting time. It'll be a good start to the Friday, but it was making me start my shift at 12 when really I like to be in the gym before I go to work and all that stuff. So, waking up, go gym, eat food. The earliest I think I get out is about 1 o'clock to start working. So to be there for 12 when it's in BS35, when I'm more city centre location, is a bit tight. I was going to make it work, but I think it's cancelled now. I can't see it on my thing. Annoyingly, Uber didn't say, hey, this job is cancelled. I can still be planning my day. What's going on, people? Just did the drop down in that pickup from Thornbury and drop wherever it was. I don't know where it was. It was Topworth Court or something like that. Really nice place, actually, beautiful. Like they was going into a ball or something like that. Everyone was in like tuxedos and whatnot. I didn't really see any women, so I don't know what the women would have been wearing. Just loads of tuxedos. Currently on my way to. From there actually there was another pickup around the corner from East Park. I dropped them back to Thornbury. There's no jobs around here, so I'm trying to drive close to the city centre-ish. I'm not going to get all the way to the city centre, but it's a little bit close to some civilization, I've done about an hour and 38 minutes so far. I'm £62.42. Which is not too bad, it's not too shabby, but I would have liked to have had a job from here. They did offer me a job £13, but it was 24 minutes away, which was, I don't know where that was, and it was an 8-minute trip, so 32 minutes or £13 something. Garbage. Right, so I've been going for 2 hours, 41 minutes. It's now 8:40. I bring in £99, 82p. And could go on for longer, to be honest. I could go on for longer. But I do need to cook food. So I have food for the rest of the week. Weekend even. So I have food for the rest of the weekend, so I could just go hard this weekend. No pauses. I'm thinking in times like this, I'm wishing that I signed up to like Vizu or Bolt as well, because obviously I'm going to do 10 hours a day on Uber for the next few days. But I'm thinking on a Friday and Saturday, I would love to do maybe 12 hours. So, once I finished on Uber, or simultaneously I do Uber and Vizu or something like that, and then I could just do a couple extra hours of work, because obviously with Uber you can only work for 10 hours per not per shift. It's weird basically, so you can only drive for 10 hours and then you got to rest for 6. So you've always got to rest for 6 before your 10 hours resets. So if you drive for 4 hours and you want and you go back online in 4 hours again, then you still got 6 hours left. It doesn't reset. If you want it to reset, you got to stop for 6 hours for it to reset. So it's like, drive for 45 minutes, you go log back on in 5 hours, it's not reset yet. This is how it's going to be. So yeah, I just want to do my 10 hours and whatnot, and then obviously it's going to take 6 hours to reset, and because of that I want to do a couple extra hours overtime, you know what I mean? But I can't, because I'm not signed up to Vizu and all that. maybe I'm gonna look into it. I'm gonna download the app and see if I can, you know, do it on a quick one this weekend. Download it, or I mean, sign up to it this weekend. Maybe next weekend. I don't know. I'm gonna figure it out. Anyways, quick 2 hours 40, £99.82. Not bad at all for a Thursday. Doesn't mean the jobs were great. Very selective. I was very selective with my jobs. Could have definitely had less.